to start recruiting again.
Neil Carberry from the Recruitment and Employment Confederation. Listening to Alana there, to what extent do you think the furlough scheme has been putting people off applying for jobs?
I think it's a really interesting question. We can't know the precise answer, but it's definitely the case that the general view in business is obviously there are parts of the economy that are really hard hit and still need support. The nighttime economy is a classic example. Lots of the big events sector, but there are. Generally, most business leaders I talk to think that the timetable for phasing furlough out now is the right one, and it's necessary because it's actually not in workers' interest to be on furlough for another couple of months when actually they might not be going back to that job. It's far better to put help in place to get them into places where jobs are being created. We can't know yet the overall position of the labour market because we know there's this big slice of the workforce who are still on furlough. I think from the point of view of a business like Alana's, a lot of this comes down to actually what we heard from Nissan there, which is thinking about what your offer is to the workforce and what skills are you going to build, train yourself, what are you going to buy in, you're going to hire in your offer, and also perhaps less so for Alana, but for many businesses, what are you going to borrow, what skills are you going to need for a bit but you're not going to need for the long haul. And that workforce planning question and the offer you want to make, going back to our colleague from the cleaning sector earlier about being best in class, I think those are going to be big differentiators for businesses going forward.
That's a really important point, isn't it? We've had a text from Bren in Nottingham who says, pay a living wage, no 0-hour contracts, stop benefit subsidies of poorly paying employers, then watch the applications fly in. I mean, could a worker shortage in some sectors mean that wages do finally start to rise in those areas?
Well, of course, it's difficult to tell what's happening with wages at the moment.